In the wild world of AI, there's a huge battle going on for your attention. Two massive names are in the ring, and today we're putting them head to head to see who comes out on top.
So let's get right into it. The real question here isn't just which AI is technically better. It's which one is actually the right tool for you and the stuff you need to get done. And that's exactly what we're going to figure out.
All right, so let's meet our two contenders. In one corner, you've got this super careful, fact-checking genius that's all about trust and showing its work. And in the other corner, we've got the witty, plugged-in trendsetter that knows what's buzzing on the internet this very second. And this really just sums them up perfectly, doesn't it? Think of Perplexity as that brilliant researcher who gives you every single source. Then you have Grok, who's more like that friend who's always online and knows all the latest gossip. They're just built differently from the ground up. So first up is Perplexity AI. And you got to understand, this isn't a search engine like Google. They call it an answer engine. It was started by some absolute heavyweights from places like OpenAI and DeepMind, and its whole mission is to give you a straight answer with all the sources right there. Transparency is its game. And then there's Grok. This is Elon Musk's baby from his company xAI. Its secret weapon? It's plugged directly into the live wire of X, what we used to call Twitter. So it gets real-time info, but it also comes with a big personality. It's designed to be a bit cheeky, a little rebellious, and definitely witty. Okay, enough talk. Let's see how they actually perform when the rubber meets the road. We've set up a 5-round challenge to test them on the kinds of things you'd actually use an AI for every day. So here's the gauntlet we're throwing down. First, we'll check how they handle breaking news. Then, we'll see if they can do serious academic research. After that, a little math test. Then, we'll get creative. And finally, we'll see how they do as a coding buddy. This should really show us where each one shines and where they fall flat. So, who came out on top? It's time to get into the results. Let's break it down, round by round, and see who takes the crown. First up, round 1, real-time information. This is a huge one, right? We asked both of them for a quick summary of the biggest global news stories from the last 48 hours. And the first round goes to Perplexity, but just by a hair. Look, both were lightning fast, but the key difference was where they got their info. Perplexity pulled from a whole bunch of different news outlets. Grok did great, but it really leaned on what people were saying on X. That diversity of sources gives Perplexity the edge here. All right, for round 2, we seriously cranked up the difficulty. We asked them to create a formal literature review, the kind you'd see in an academic paper, complete with proper APA citations. A really tough ask. And whoa, I did not see this coming. It's a perfect tie. A 10 out of 10 for both. They absolutely nailed it. They found relevant studies, they synthesized the information beautifully, and it got every single citation right. This is huge. It means for serious, tough research, you honestly can't go wrong with either one. Just a flawless performance. On to round 3, mathematics. We threw a compound growth problem at them. It's pretty straightforward, but it's a great test of not just if they can get the right answer, but if they can explain how they got it. And Grok gets its first win. Now, what's fascinating is that both of them got the final number right. The reason Grok won is because of its explanation. It broke the whole thing down step by step, year by year, which is awesome if you actually want to learn. Perplexity was correct, but its explanation was way more dense and, frankly, harder to follow. Okay, time to switch from the left brain to the right brain. Round 4 is all about creativity. The challenge? Write a short script that sounds like it was written by the one and only Ernest Hemingway. Let's see what happened. And yeah, this one was a blowout. It wasn't even close. Grok ran away with it. Its script felt authentic. It had that minimalist vibe. It just got the Hemingway style. Perplexity's attempt, on the other hand, well, it felt like a robot trying to pretend it has feelings. It was stiff, mechanical, and just missed the mark completely. This quote really says it all, doesn't it? Grok showed genuine creative understanding. It wasn't just copying a style, it seemed to understand the why behind it. This is where that personality-driven design really pays off. And here we go, the final round, coding. We asked for a Python function to find prime numbers, but we didn't just want the code. We wanted comments, test cases, and an analysis of how efficient it was. A real-world test for any developer. And Perplexity comes back to take the final round with a perfect score. Honestly, both of them gave us great working code. It was super clean, but Perplexity just edged it out because its analysis of the code's complexity was more professional and detailed. It used the proper notation, which is exactly what a developer would want to see. So the tests are over and it's practically a dead heat. But performance is only one piece of the puzzle. The other big piece is, what's this all going to cost you? And can you even use it for free? And wow, this is where a huge gap opens up. Perplexity's free version is, well, it's amazing. You get unlimited basic searches, you can upload files, you even get a few pro-level queries every day. Grok's free access, though, is super limited. So if you don't want to open your wallet, Perplexity gives you way more to play with. So after all of that, the 5 rounds, the pricing, we're back to that first, most important question. Which of these is the right champion for you? Let's break it down into some simple advice.
Here's the bottom line. You should pick Perplexity if your job depends on accuracy, sources, and verification. If you're a journalist, a researcher, an analyst, basically anyone whose work needs to be bulletproof and backed by facts, Perplexity was literally made for you.
But you should probably go with Grok if you need speed, creativity, and a finger on the pulse of what's happening right now. Social media managers, marketers brainstorming new campaigns, developers who need a quick coding partner, or students who want more engaging summaries, Grok's witty conversational style is going to be a much better fit.
And that leaves us with this really interesting final thought. What this showdown proves is there's no longer one best AI for everything. They're starting to specialize. Perplexity is the researcher, Grok is the creative. So the real question going forward is, are we heading for a future where we don't just use one AI, but a whole toolkit of them, each one a champion for a very specific job? Something to think about.